Well, hello, Saints. This is James Kendrick again from Oak Grove Baptist Church, 183 Jubin in Memphis, Tennessee. I am so happy to be with you today as I have two of our finest friends and members that are going to share with you as we talk a little bit about the blended family. We're going to talk about a blend that cleaves and some very important points that we want to share with you will be mentioned today. Some things about how to get along. How do we blend into a family? What does the man need to know, as well as what does a woman need to know when you find yourself in this form of integration? A blended family, but yet it's your family. Okay, I have two questions. I'm going to put out two questions, and Minister Jefferson and Sister Sonia Bell are going to share their responses, their answers. There are no wrong answers, and these people are very strong in the Lord, and they're going to share from a biblical perspective. Question one, how should a man handle himself when he is coming into a family whereby there are children that, I want to say superseded him or exceeded him? That's the term I want to use. They were there. This woman has carried these children for 9 months, and she has a special love and concern for them. So how should a man mingle or integrate into that blend? And how should a woman, if it's the other way around or if they both have children? So we're going to hear from both of these individuals, and then we're going to talk about the spiritual sacrifice. What spiritual sacrifice should be made? Because we do know that Psalms 127 says that the fruit of the womb is God's reward. So we're going to hear from both of them now. We're going to hear from Minister Jefferson.
I had to, as a new father in a new relationship, I had to actually be a comfort for my son, my new son that I have. And at this time, he was shy, but I had to be able to get with him and see where he was, understand him. I didn't have knowledge of knowing that he was scarred, and he shared that with me, but it took years for him to share that with me, open up and share that with me. But as a father, you have to allow that child to know that you're in their corner at all times. And when you're in their corner, they can have confidence in saying what they need to say to you.
Well, first of all, Pastor, I really do believe that you got to go in there prayerfully, right? Because when you go into a relationship where kids are involved, you have to make sure that you're very careful and intentionally about what you're doing. So I think the very first thing is important is building a relationship with that child. Letting that child know that I'm not coming in this relationship trying to take over and replace your mother, because you already have a mother. Because see, the child is going to watch you, right? And they're going to watch the things that you do, how you behave and how you act, and seeing if they have that opportunity. And I think if you have those characteristics, that's Christ, that compassion, that love, and letting that child know that you are here. You're not going anywhere, because first of all, they want to know that are you in it to stay? Or are you in it to exit out? Because so many people have walked in and out of their life. When I go into a relationship with a blend, and with the family that was already there, I want to make sure that I'm going there to build a nourishing relationship, because as a mother, we are nurturers, right? So we want to nurture that relationship and letting them know that we're here for you when they want to talk, because some things like a child, especially a girl, some things she don't feel comfortable with talking to her father. So I want to be there so she can feel comfortable with me, coming to talk with me. So I'm going to leave it open, for that child to come. And so that child going to be watching me at all times. So I'm going to make sure that I'm carrying myself. I'm prayerful, and I'm asking Christ how you want me to carry myself and act. Because first of all, I got to understand that this child is of God. And I'm going to treat God's child the way that I want to be treated. And so this is one thing that I have always thought. I treat other people the way that I want to be treated. And when they feel the genuineness of that relationship and that openness, I think that I open up the door where they can come in and talk to me.
I am so grateful for the expertise of our guest today. I'm saying guest, but of course, we're brothers and sisters in ministry here. And of course, we are socially distanced. And I want you to know that it's important. Let me ask the second round of questions. How free should I feel in hugging a young lady in the relationship if I'm going into a blend? Should I be careful about the embracing both of the young lady and of the young man? And then should I keep a mindset or preference my operations all together with the fact that God says in Psalms 127 that the fruit of the womb is his reward? So should I approach this situation as a man in ministry as well as a husband, but a man in ministry to these children?
We don't want to send the wrong message. We don't want to be an inappropriate touch or feeling with them understanding that it's a way to do everything. And it's an appropriate way how to embrace your child. Although it's a new child, you still have to make an appropriate approach to embrace them. And we don't want to feel uncomfortable ourselves as parents. So with a child in a blended relationship, a blended family, we have to first of all think about, okay, how can I love on this child? Will I offend this child if I do hug them a certain way? We always want to remain respectful, because we have to think about what effects it would come from, or what they have been through before. Like we said, some children have been scarred. So if they've been scarred before, you don't want to go that direction. You want to go in the direct direction you need to go. But we have to stay focused on the Word of God. And God teaches us how to love in a certain way. And that's compassion, and there's humbleness and gentleness. We have to imply all those aspects of the Word in order to move forward with that child.
Pastor, first of all, I just want to say I just love these questions because it makes us think. And I think that, like Reverend Jefferson said, there's a way that we have to handle this, and carefully, prayerfully asking the Lord, because see, you don't know what the children have been through, if they have been in abusive relationships or whatever. But I still think that if you make that relationship open, that child will let you know when it's okay how to respond to that child's need. Because first of all, I think that we ought to know what love is, and Christ tells us what love is in his word in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is patient, so we're being patient with that child. Love is kind, and we're being kind and gentle and loving. All those characteristics that Christ tells us to do, it will like that with that child, and being open like that with that child and loving with that child. I think that child will open up to us, and then they will let us know when it's okay. And then I would ask them for permission. I would not just go in and for the hug, even though I'm a hugger and I love it. I wait for that child's signal for me to give to them, and then they will open up, and then let them make the first movement. And if they want to come and give me that hug, and then I can embrace them. So I watch that child for their signal. I let them know that I'm there for them and I'm loving, and I make sure, because children read you and they know what you, because they looking at you all the time, and they know what, if you really mean, is true. So Pastor, I always love when you say you have to develop that relationship. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that child want to know that you really care for them. And like I said, wait on them and let them make that first movement to you.
I am so grateful to be able to share in this session today with both Minister Antron Jefferson and Sister Sonia Bell. You all really helped to enrich my life through the years and this moment. Sister Bell made reference to the fact, as well as Minister Jefferson, that you have the family that you create. You create the environment. You create that environment for those children and for that mate. And I think that it's wonderful that you would share that kind of information because this is such a very, very touchy matter. I just want to add to what you said because I'm anticipating us coming back again and being able to talk again. I want to leave us today with the thought in mind. This is one of the best opportunities. That is, and when I say this, I'm referring to the blend itself. When you're in a blend, you have an excellent opportunity to develop character in an individual. This child, that mate, they're really needing your help. That's why spiritually, sacrificially, and you address those issues today, they're so very special because God has allowed you to be in a unique situation. You can help an individual to become the best person they could possibly be by what you choose to do in further creating that environment. So I'm really grateful, and I look forward to having the two of you back on next week so that we can elaborate on some other points. Well, thank you so much. That brings us to the close of this session. And I want you to know that if you have any comments, please put those in the comment section as you view this video. If you'll do that for us, we'll be able to answer those questions or attempt to answer those questions in our next session. Thank you so much. It's really been good talking with you, and I look forward to hearing from you.